This might be the easiest 73 points ever scored in an NBA game.
Back of the hands of Luka. A heave and a hit! Oh! Luka splits a double. Keeps the dribble alive. All the way to the hoop.
Luka Doncic just exposed the NBA. I mean, he literally walked through the Hawks defense without anyone trying to stop him.
State on Wednesday night. Johnson had 21 points in that game, and Johnson's on the board tonight for the Hawks.
In fact, the more I continued to watch this game, the more I realized this wasn't just a crazy coincidence. It's as if the basketball gods scripted this themselves. This was a scoring masterclass from one of the best scorers in the NBA right now.
Clock, 4 seconds. Got it from Kleba. Again late in the clock. In desperation.
Since entering the NBA in 2018, Luka Doncic has been consistently one of the top players in the entire league. Take a look at this stat line. These were Luka's stats from his rookie season. Now, to put that in perspective, that year he placed 27th overall in total game stats and 24th overall in per game stats. Still not convinced? Luka's rookie season places 12th all-time of the best rookie seasons, putting him in the same category as players like Shaquille O'Neal, David Robinson, and the GOAT, that's right, you guessed it, LeBron James. But there's a reason the 24-year-old guard from Slovenia is so special, and this can be broken down into 3 key aspects. And it's not just his ridiculous IQ, which allows him to break down defenses with ease. The real genius is how he uses his speed, which brings us to the first point, being able to change speeds effortlessly. A few years ago, it was pretty much impossible to get by defenders unless you were fast. That's why some of the top point guards of all time were some of the fastest players the league had ever seen. I mean, the goal is literally to put the ball in the hoop as many times as you can in 48 minutes. So, in theory, the faster the better, right? Luka actually isn't that fast. In fact, some may call him one of the slowest players in the league. So, how does Luka's speed help him score so many points? Let's take a look at some of his plays in action. Watch this play closely. From the moment he caught the ball to the second he took the shot, Luka literally did not change speed at all. He practically walked from the three-point line right into the key. This is what makes Luka so special. Take this play from Ja Morant, for example. Ja Morant clearly started running from the three-point line into the paint, but why does this matter? Well, if we take a look at both shots side by side, Luka was virtually wide open, whilst Ja was heavily contested. The reason Luka was able to get his shot off so easily is because he was moving slow.
Somehow kept his pivot foot down. 60 points from the bench.
He's more than that.
Oh, no, he didn't.
What a play!
No, he didn't.
You see, while most guards move at similar speed and level of athleticism, Luka's build and movement pattern make him super unpredictable. This means defenders almost always miss time the jump to contest. This might seem so simple, but it's the perfect example of an elite change of pace and speed control. While he does have the ability to be explosive at times, let's be honest, no one wants to be going 100% for a whole game. And we can't really go any further without talking about the art of deceleration. Luka's ability to decelerate is not merely a pause in action, it's a strategic move that catches the defenders off guard.
Is because he's never redlining. But if you always at that point of exhaustion, if you always like jumping your max height and all this stuff over 82, I feel like you get hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
Here's the key though. It's almost impossible to run full speed and then instantly stop for an entire game, unless you're LeBron. Most players can't maintain that level of effort for 15 minutes, let alone an entire game. And if they did, they would quickly get hurt. By slowing down his game, Luka forces defenders to adjust their speed, creating a moment of vulnerability that he exploits by accelerating past them or finding an open teammate. However, even if all this is considered, he wouldn't be a great player if he didn't have this second skill. There are plenty of players that are fast and skilled enough to get past defenders and into the paint, but they all fail at the most important hurdle, finding open teammates. Whilst Luka is second in the league for points per game, he also ranks second in assists per game, and this isn't by any coincidence. In fact, he'd probably be averaging more if he had better teammates. So what's so special about Luka's IQ? His game is a dual threat of scoring and facilitating, and teams know this. This forces the defense to make adjustments, leaving them two options. Focus solely on him as a scorer and risk leaving teammates open, or cover potential pass receivers and give Luka more room to score. Either way, it's a losing situation for most defenses. This dilemma often leads to defensive breakdowns and allowing Luka to exploit any given defensive strategy.
You are getting it, and you are getting a show, a very memorable show by Luka Doncic.
But there's even more to break down of things you can't actually see. The first thing that is extremely effective is the impact on team dynamics. Luka's high basketball IQ has a ripple effect on his teammates. His ability to read the game and make the right plays boosts the team's overall performance. Luka is incredible at finding open teammates, reading defenses, decision-making, and understanding spacing and timing. So how did this lift him to scoring 73 points? Well, he shot 15 of 16 from free throws this game, but I would be crazy to say that was the reason he scored 73. Where did the other 58 points come from? He shot 8 of 13 from 3, and the rest, well, let's just say that was the true display of his IQ and scoring masterclass.
Joel Embiid just had 70 the other night. Luka Doncic had 73. Atlanta, it was like a bunch of people went out to Magic City and forgot to show up to the game the next day.
Is being able to score really that special though? I mean, everyone around the league seems to be doing it. I mean, in just 1 week, Karl Anthony Towns scored 62. Then Joel Embiid scored 70. Devin Booker dropped 63 in a loss to the Pacers. And lastly, Luka's 73. What's really going on in the league? There's a lot to talk about whether the league is too soft, whether refs are getting worse, or if teams in general are just straight up bad at defense. And while all of this is important, other players would be able to use this to their advantage. What pretty much the average NBA player can't replicate is his experience. Players like Luka, Jokic, Alperen Şengün, and Victor Wembanyama have a competitive advantage that makes them great, which brings me to the last point, professional experience.
I only say scoring is easier in NBA just because of the amount of the different rules, the less space, the time. So that's why I said it.
Whilst there are many different rules in the EuroLeague that make it harder to score, what's most valuable is the transition to the NBA. It's almost as if you were playing with weights on your back and then finally took them off.
That is better.
Just imagine the freedom they feel after stepping onto a much bigger court. Not only that, but going from 10 to 12 minutes a quarter. More time and more space means more buckets. Playing professionally in Europe exposes young talents to a high level of competition and the pressure of professional basketball at an earlier age than their counterparts in the US college system. This early exposure helps in maturing their game, understanding professional dynamics, and developing the mental toughness required to succeed in the NBA. For instance, Doncic's experience in the EuroLeague, one of the toughest basketball competitions outside the NBA, provided him with a wealth of experience against seasoned professionals before he entered the NBA draft. And not only did he just play in arguably the second best league in the world, but he became the best player in Europe at 19 years old and broke all the records that season. He led Real Madrid to win the 10th Euro Cup in 2017-18 season, in which he won the MVP of the EuroLeague. Jokic's career is even bigger proof of this point. After becoming a two-time MVP and an NBA champion, Nikola Jokic has put a lot of European players on the map. But what's noticeably different between the more experienced players is how easy they make the game look.
And now you are an NBA champion, Nikola. How does that feel?
It's good. It's good. The job is done. We can go home now.
Jokic is known for casually dropping triple doubles without even caring, and this is because he plays the game comfortably and with ease. Similar to Luka, Jokic is never really exerting himself or even trying that hard, which is why he never really suffers from major injuries. And when you really think about it, some of the best players around the league, it's clear to see that this benefits them a lot. Players like Giannis, Sabonis, Porzingis, Dennis Schroeder, Franz Wagner, Alperen Şengün. I mean, the list goes on. But there's one player you probably didn't know that fits into this list.
It's on the clock. Paulo Banchero inside for the lead. Got it.
Luka and the Mavs are currently sitting 8th in the West with a record of 27 and 23. And before I give you my thoughts on whether Luka can get Dallas to the playoffs, put your thoughts on where they'll place this season in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Luka is a basketball genius, and now that Kyrie Irving is back, he has the help to make it into the top 6 and avoid the play-in. Assuming he and the team can stay healthy after the All-Star break, he'll have no trouble making it through the first round.